Smart grill technology allows for an even heat. It's called RecTech, built by grillers for grillers. Go to rectechwithaq.com, RECTEQ.com. Oh, boy, Tom Brady. He did not shake hands with Nick Foles after the game. Oh, such bad sportsmanship. Really? Did Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Fallon after shows call, hey, congrats, bro, you crushed me in the ratings. Awesome job, you got better guests. We're going to have to cut staff. Stop. This isn't high school volleyball. It's not high school sports. It's not even college sports. It's the NFL. It's alpha males, tens of millions of dollars, careers at stake. Tom Brady just forgot what down it was. He was pissed. And LeBron didn't shake hands. He wasn't happy. 99% of the time, they both do it the right way. But fake humility, sportsmanship above all else. No, winning above all else. Kirk Cousins, 0-9 on Monday Night Football, but he's always gracious. I'll take the guy that's 11-3 on Monday Night Football and occasionally pissed. It's not good sportsmanship above everything else. It's winning in the NFL above everything else. What about the kids? They're your kids. Figure it out. They're not mine. I don't like yours. I like mine sometimes. It's not about, I don't care about your kids. Well, what if you can't watch a game with your kids and describe what happens and give it context, then maybe you should do more than make kids and have kids. Maybe you should learn to parent them. If you can't figure out, like, oh, what am I going to tell my son? Yeah, Tom should have taken a left there and shaken his hand. You want some ice cream? Really, your kid, it was so traumatic for your kids, they'll never get through school. Oh, my God. They've dealt with COVID in Zoom classes for 6 months. They're not going to be able to withstand Tom Brady and LeBron James not shaking hands. Enough with a false humility. Good sportsmanship above everything else. In soccer, they literally exchange flags before games. Think about that. In soccer, they give you a present before the game. The game is often called a friendly. It ain't the NFL. No, we tackle you, put your face in the dirt, tweak your knee, jam our thumb into your ear, and it's mostly legal. And when we lose, we're upset. And there's tens of millions and jobs on the line, no guaranteed contracts. That's the culture of the NFL. Sometimes guys don't want to shake hands. Yeah, I've been in this business for 40 years. When I steal a top advertiser from another show, do they call me? Congrats, bruh. You just took that big retailer from me. You know what we do when we do that? We high five. Yeah, awesome. And they sulk. And we do it regularly. And we want to because we're competitive. Because there's tens of millions of dollars at stake. This is the NFL. I don't care about what you're going to tell your kids. Be a parent. Your kids are handling this awful pandemic. They're doing just fine. Some of the parents aren't, but the kids are overwhelmingly doing just fine. Shaking hands, LeBron, Tom Brady. They have both been incredible ambassadors for their sports. Unbelievably gracious ambassadors for their sports. They have literally made executives at the NBA and NFL rich. They've made salespeople rich and executives rich and other players rich, and coaches are driving Mercedes because of Brady and LeBron. And this week, they didn't shake hands. Brady forgot what down it was, and LeBron's had to live in a bubble for 3 months. Maybe they're not in the mood. I got their back. Greg Cosell around the corner, Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. My news.
Nick Foles is so sweet, though. He looks so sad out there looking for him.
By the way, Foles was on radio this morning. We'll have that later in the show. You just have to sometimes understand, in the moment, people have a right to be human and mad.
I'm 1,000% with you. It's why I thought the reaction to Cam Newton in his press conference was ridiculous. He just lost the biggest game of his career in the Super Bowl. Can he be upset? I prefer he be upset over whatever else he's supposed to be. He's upset. Let him be upset.
Yeah.
Would you be upset if you lost in the biggest moment of your career? Yes. That's all he was.
You have a right. The false humility out there and sportsmanship above all else. I like athletes that are authentic. I really do. I really like authentic athletes, and it doesn't bother me when they talk politics.
Well, they're human beings. Everyone else does this every single day.
Yeah, everybody else on Twitter can have a political thought, but if a basketball player does...
It's this idea that because it's entertainment, that it's supposed to fit within the box. Like, if that's what you want, go pick your favorite show and watch that, because you know it's going to be consistent for what you want. This is sports, and it's played by human beings.
And we don't know how it's always going to end, the game or the reaction.
Exactly.
We just don't know.
Exactly. That's what makes sports great. So LeBron is one win away from bringing the Lakers their 17th NBA title.
I couldn't hear. How many?
17.
17. Lakers have. Okay.
Yes, I'm looking forward to tonight, though. But he says he's learned he'll only gain Lakers fans' respect once he has found success in L.A.
What I've learned being a Laker is that the Laker faithful don't give a damn what you've done before. Until you become a Laker, you got to do it with them as well. So they don't care about your resume at all. Until you become a Laker, then you got to do it as a Laker. Then they respect you. I've learned that.
It's very true. Lakers fans are pretty particular about that, as they should be, because they have 16 NBA titles and are a legendary franchise.
They're NBA royalty.
Yeah.
They don't celebrate, New England doesn't celebrate wild card. The Yankees don't celebrate wild card playoff victories. Like the Laker fans are like, okay, we've had Wilt and Kareem and Kobe and Magic, and we've had Pat Riley coaching and Phil Jackson coaching, like Frank Vogel and LeBron win, and then we'll put our arms around you a little.
Well, this will be LeBron's 10th finals appearance, and if he wins, it'll be his 4th championship overall, and he will have won a title with his 3rd different franchise. They're wearing the Black Mamba jerseys tonight.
Oh, over.
They're 4-0 and wearing them. Interesting conversation that kind of pops up on Twitter every once in a while is that if he wins a championship, will they retire his number? So,
well, he's not done here.
Because there's only one title. Well, let's say he wins one title, right? Like the NBA is going to look differently next year. Who knows? Like they're in the finals now, and they're one game away from winning another championship. So I looked at the guys who have retired jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Because what he just said is, what is the success that you have with the Lakers? Because Lakers fans are always arguing back and forth about it, because if he only wins one title, is it enough for him to retire? Because it is LeBron James. Well, Kobe obviously has 8 and 24. Wilt, Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Shaquille, James Worthy, Jerry West, and Jamal Wilkes.
I don't, as much as I love LeBron, I don't think it's really. I mean, I will say this.
Well, Wilt only has one title. Elgin Baylor has no titles. Gail Goodrich has one. And Jerry West has one with the Lakers.
That's a good point.
So it's not, there's precedent for it.
Can we debate that Monday? I haven't done my research. Okay. That's good.
Well, it's an interesting thought, because people argue about it all the time on Twitter. So I wanted to look and see how many.
So Gail Goodrich is retired.
These are the retired jerseys of the Lakers, yes.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
But I wanted to look at the titles they won with the Lakers, because that's what Lakers fans are talking about. Like, you got to win multiple titles.
Yeah, no, especially you could say he won in a pandemic, the year Kobe passed. It's been
this is an unbelievable title to win, for sure. I'm just like, if this is the only one. Obviously, maybe this is a conversation we have once he's retired, but, it's interesting to think about.
It's really, I got to say, NBA, nice job.
Unbelievable.
Not a single test.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if you'd have told me in May we were getting this, Lakers Heat final, no positive tests, I would have said.
It exceeded my expectations.
Oh, by a mile, not even close.
It's one of the biggest feats ever accomplished in sports history.
The quality, I'll go back to something. With no air travel, with no flights, the energy of the players, this is something that needs to be considered. Let's knock some games off. LeBron's energy looks like he's 29 years old.
They may be in a bubble next season, too. So they may be bringing some of what they've learned over to next season anyway. But, maybe it's something to consider to have the final, the conference finals or something all in one place to eliminate this. But I guess, obviously, the fans aren't going to want that. So the Chargers have announced that Justin Herbert will be the team's starting quarterback going forward. Kind of saw this coming, but it's official now. Anthony Lynn said the job is Herbert's for the rest of the season, and he won't have to worry about being benched during any rough patches, so they're going to ride it out with their rookie quarterback. 1 week ago, Herbert's odds to win Offensive Rookie of the Year were plus 1,500 according to Fox Bet. They have jumped to plus 300, which is second best in the league behind Joe Burrow.
We knew it was going to happen. It was just happening faster than we thought.
Yes. Well, while this is great for Justin Herbert, and I do think this is the right move for the Chargers, where does this leave Tyrod Taylor? It's a very interesting situation with Tyrod Taylor, because there's always that conversation of, can you lose your job to injury? And obviously the answer is yes, it happens all the time.
Right.
But this wasn't really an injury. Like, this was inflicted on him.
Yeah.
So the NFL Players Association has opened an investigation to the incident, and a 60-day window. He has a 60-day window to file a grievance, and things are on hold right now because the grievance is dependent on if he'll suffer any material loss. But he's going to be a free agent after this season,
They'll
and all of
re-sign
his
him.
guaranteed money in his 2-year contract with the Chargers was last year.
Yeah, if I was the Chargers, I'd probably give him another 2-year deal because I don't think there's going to be a huge market for him as a starter. And so maybe if you're the Chargers, you're like, listen, we love you. You're going to be the best backup in the league because I don't think there's going to be a lot of starting jobs available.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm just saying from Tyrod's perspective, I mean,
It just stinks.
I don't know. Get a good lawyer. It might be.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to hang it up, but that is his real. I mean, you lost the starting job to Justin Herbert because of the doctor's mistake.
Yeah.
Finally, the Texans now have to find a new GM and a new head coach after firing Bill O'Brien. And J.J. Watt says the team needs to bring in people who will make building around Deshaun Watson their priority.
Deshaun Watson's an incredible quarterback. He's the face of this franchise. He's the future of this team and this city. So we have to do whatever we possibly can to make sure that he's in the best position to have success and to lead this place to success, not only this year, not only next year, but for the next 10 years.
Yes. Everybody else outside of Deshaun and the left tackle, I'm willing to move.
And this should have always been the foremost obligation of Bill O'Brien as the GM and as the head coach. Reportedly, J.J. Watt and Bill O'Brien got into a verbal blow-up at practice the week leading up to the Week 3 loss in Pittsburgh, and that was reportedly when O'Brien lost the team. I mean, if you lose J.J. Watt or Deshaun Watson, essentially you're going to lose this team. I mean, they are the faces of that franchise.
Right. Especially when you're losing games and you lose your star.
That's a little bit too much losing at too many positions.
Good stuff. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.